How's it going, everyone? This is my first live stream. I'm pretty excited. Thanks for everyone who's joined. Let's get straight into it. So today we are basically going to go over my 5-step formula for writing neo-soul guitar riffs. Let's get rid of that tab because that's the finished product. We're not there just yet. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So, hey Akira, good to see you here. Let's get into the first step. So let's go over here. The first step is to create a chord progression. So there's 3 different methods I like to use to create a chord progression. And the first is to use chord functions. Hi Anne-Marie, good to see you here. So let's take a look at the chords in the key of C. I know this is quite basic. Jamsville, Adam, good to see you here. So, for those of you who don't know, the chords in the key of C, which is the key we're going to be working in today, are C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and B diminished. So we're going to use these 7 chords to create a basic chord progression, which is going to be the foundation of our neo-soul riff. Okay, so let's take a look at the first method for creating a chord progression. I've got 3 methods for creating chord progressions here. The first is to use the chord functions. So, as you saw, each chord in our key is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and each particular chord has a particular function. It fits into one of 3 categories. Okay, so you've got tonic chords, which are chords 1, 3, and 6. So, in the key of C, we've got C, we've got E minor, and we've got A minor. Okay, so okay. Then we've got subdominant chords, which are chords 2 and 4, which are D minor and F in the key of C. And then we've got dominant chords, which are chords 5 and 7 in the key of C, which are G and B diminished. So as you can see, we've got some arrows there. Okay, this just kind of shows us the kind of order we're supposed to put our chords in, okay, if we use these chord functions. So we start off with tonic chords. They are chords that sound at home. They sound resolved. And then from there, if we want to kind of take the listener on a bit of a journey, you can go to a subdominant chord. And from a subdominant chord, you could go to a dominant chord that adds even more tension to your chord progressions. And from there, you release that tension by resolving back on a tonic chord. So, for example, if I was to come up with a chord progression on the spot, I could maybe come up with a 3 for my tonic chord, then move on to the subdominant section, play 4, then move on to dominant, play 5, and then finish on a tonic 1. So that would be E minor, F, G, and then C. Pretty simple. So I've come up with a chord progression using these chord functions. I started on the subdominant chord actually, which is chord 2. I moved to a dominant chord, which is chord 5, and then I moved to chord 1, which is C, and then I also played another tonic chord, which is something you can do, which is chord 6. By the way, if you want this diagram and you want a deeper explanation for why this works rather than just here are the chords, they work, head down to the description and you can grab the first 2 chapters of my book, Chord Charisma, for free. And this chart is included within the first 2 chapters. Okay, so let's take a look at a chord progression I wrote using these functions. So I played a 2, 5, 1, 6, and it's D minor, G, C, and A minor. Okay, I appreciate the tabs might be a little bit small here. Let me know if they're a bit too small, and I'll fix them for future streams. But we're just going to go with it for now, okay? Also, this chord progression, the 2, 5, 1, 6, if anyone has watched Eurovision this year, I don't know if a lot of you watch Eurovision, but it's one of my favourite things. There's a song called Hold Me Closer by Cornelia Jacobs. She represented Sweden, and it uses this chord progression in the chorus, and it's absolutely beautiful. It makes me really emotional, that song, so definitely check it out. Anyway, let's take a listen to the chord progression. It's 2, 5, 1, 6, D minor, G, C, A minor. Okay, sounds really, really nice. 2, 5, 1, 6. Thanks, Akira. Okay, maybe it's a little bit too small, but for future streams, I'll try and sort that out. It was kind of hard to try and figure out what the perfect size for the tabs were so that it wasn't blocking my playing or blocking my face. But I'll figure it out. Okay, so that is the first way to create a chord progression. The second way to create a chord progression is to use the cycle of fourths. Okay, so let's take a look at the cycle of fourths. Here we got a cycle, and we've got the 7 chords in the key of C. If we go clockwise, we're moving in fourths, okay, diatonic fourths. So if we start on C, then the next chord would be F, then the next chord would be B diminished, the next chord would be E minor, the next chord would be A minor, D minor, G, and then back to C again, okay? So those are our chords using the cycle of fourths. What I did is I created a chord progression where I started on F, and I just went around the entire cycle of fourths to get back to C, all right? So let's take a listen to that. Here's the chord progression. We're playing F, B diminished, E minor, A minor, D minor, G, and C. Okay, it's a really nice little chord progression, okay? So that is the cycle of fourths. Now we're going to take a look at one more method for creating chord progression using the 7 chords in our key. And that is, oh, I don't have a diagram for this one, so we're just going to go back to here. It is the stepwise chord progression. So all we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing chords in order as they appear in the key. So we could ascend or we could descend. So for example, if we started on F, which is chord 4, we can move it up to 5, then 6, then 7, then 1. Or you could go in reverse. You could go from 4, 3, 2, 1, which is what I did in the following chord progression. So let's take a look at that. I'm playing 4, 3, 2, 1, F, E minor, D minor, C. Let's take a listen to that. Okay, simple, but it works. So definitely start using those in your chord progressions. Okay, now that's step 1 of creating a neo-soul riff. Okay, step 2 is to add embellishments and extensions to your chords. This is where things get a little bit spicy. So let's take a look at the next chart. So here are the extensions. So you may have seen this diagram before in my other videos. This diagram is also available as part of the first 2 chapters of my book, Chord Charisma. I forgot what I was going to say. But basically, if you want to grab the first 2 chapters of my book, Chord Charisma, it's going to come with this diagram and all the chord charts for every single one of these chords that are mentioned here. Okay, so it's pretty self-explanatory, but let's go through it anyway. So as you can see on the left, we've got the 7 chords in our key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. And it shows you all the other options you can play instead of a major or a minor or a diminished chord. So let's use that first chord progression that we came up with, the 2, 5, 1, 6 in the key of C, so D minor, G, C, A minor, and let's see the different options we have. So chord 2 is our starting chord, D minor, and as you can see, we could play a sus2 chord instead of a minor chord, so I'm going to play a D sus2, D sus4 we could play a D minor 6, D minor 7, I'm going to grab my pick, D minor 9, and we could also play a D minor 11. That one sounds quite nice. So I'm going to choose a D minor 9. No, I'm not. I'm going to choose a D minor 11 because I think that's what I chose in the example. Okay, so D minor 11. All right, that's one of the options we had. We could have used all those other options though. Let's go to chord 5 now, which is G or G major. Okay. Now, as you can see, we could play a G sus2 chord, a G sus4 chord. We could also play a G dominant 7 chord, G dominant 9, G11, G13. I chose a G13, but I played it down here. Now, of course, there's going to be tabs down in the bottom, so you can kind of see what you need to play. And also, if you want the diagrams for all of these chords, as I said, grab the first 2 chapters of my book, Chord Charisma. So we chose the G13 for the second chord. Let's move on to chord 3. Or not chord 3, the third chord in our chord progression, which is chord 1 in our key, C major. So for C major, we've got all these different options. We've got sus2, sus4, major 6, major 7, 6, 9, major 9, and major 13, okay? Cool. I chose a major 9 chord. Very, very characteristic of neo-soul, those 9th chords. So if you want to kind of get that neo-soul vibe, you'll always get it, really, if you start using 9th chords, okay? That's just a quick hack for neo-soul. And then finally, chord 6, which is A minor. We can play a sus2, sus4, minor 7, minor 9, minor 11. I chose a minor 9, A minor 9. All right, so we've got D minor 11, G13, C major 9, and then A minor 9. Let's take a listen to the chord progression. Here is the example as well with the tab. Okay, let's take a listen to that. It's very smooth and it's starting to sound a little bit more like neo-soul now. Okay, so that is step number 2, extensions. Okay, step number 3. What is step number 3? Step number 3 is passing chords. That's it. So let's take a look at a couple of different passing chords we can use in our chord progressions. So the first type of passing chord we can use is the secondary dominant. Okay, I've talked about these loads on my channel. So let's take a look at the 3 steps for playing secondary dominant chords. Okay, so first of all, you want to know your target chord. You want to know the chord that you're headed to. So for example, let's say we're heading to A minor. Okay, what we got to do then is find the 5th. Okay, so the 5th is whatever a 5th above A is. Okay, so to find a 5th, you could play your power chord shape, 2 frets higher, a string higher. That is E. Okay, another way to find a 5th is if you're on the A string, so the 12th fret of the A string, that's A. The 5th is the same fret on the next string down, so on the E string, and that is E as well, of course, because it's the 5th. So we found the 5th, which is E, and we play a dominant 7th chord there. So we play an E7, leading into our target chord, which is A minor. Let's listen to that again. Alright, so I actually did that in the chord progression. I played an E7, leading into our A minor 9. Okay, the second type of passing chord that I'm going to go over today, this is not the only one. I go over many more in my book, Chord Charisma. So if you want to grab a copy, definitely do that. It's going to change your playing forever, and you're going to be writing some really, really awesome sounding chord progressions if you get that book. I put a lot of work into it. But basically, the next type of passing chord is the diminished 7th passing. So again, we want to know the target chord. And let's say we're going to C major this time. What we want to do is play a diminished 7th chord, a fret below or 2 frets above the target chord. So the root note of our C major chord is C. Okay? And quickly, just before I continue, if you guys have any questions or if you're struggling with anything that I'm saying, or if I'm going too fast, let me know in the comments, in the live chat, because I don't know unless you tell me, all right? But I'm just going to keep going, and hopefully the fact that there are no comments so far mean that I'm doing something right. All right, let's keep going. But as I said, C is our chord that we're headed to. The root note is the 3rd fret of the A string. And we could play a diminished 7th chord at the 2nd fret because it's a fret below, or a 5th fret, or the 5th fret because it is 2 frets above. Okay? And there. Okay? So to play a diminished 7th chord, I'll just show you one shape for it. We'll use the B diminished 7th chord. We're going to play 2 on the A, 3 on the D, 1 on the G, and 3 on the B. Okay? Now you'll see a tab with the tab for the chords, so you can learn them if that was too quick of an explanation by using the tabs. But yeah, that's how we use diminished seventh chords in our chord progressions. Okay, you can use them in other ways as well, but that is the main way I like to use them as a passing chord. Diminished seventh chords are super, 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 super important in neo soul. So I really, really recommend you start using them as passing chords, as you'll really start getting that neo soul sound. And Anne-Marie, thanks. I'm glad that I'm doing well. This is quite nerve-wracking doing my first live stream. I just have to keep going. I can't like stop and pause, and I can't edit things out, which is what I'm so used to doing. But yeah, I think I'm doing all right. Okay, so let's take a look at the chord progression that I came up with using some passing chords. So here it is. We're playing our D minor 11. We're playing our G13. Then before our C major 9, I forgot to notate these chords. I'm playing a B diminished, then a D diminished chord, which is 1 fret below and 2 frets higher than our C major 9 chord. Okay, and again, I forgot to notate the name of the chord for the passing chord here. So that is E7 leading to A minor 9. That's our secondary dominant chord. Okay, so let's take a listen. That's what it sounds like when we add a few passing chords in. Spices it up a little bit, makes it sound a little jazzier and a little bit more exciting. I'm just going to stop for a drink quickly. How are you guys all doing? Tell me where you're watching from. I want to know where my viewers are. So yeah, that was step 3. Let's move on to step number 4. Step number 4 is to add melody into our chord progressions, and I don't need this screen. East Midlands, nice. Cool. It's good to see some people from the UK here. I think most of my subscribers are American, actually, which is very interesting. So, adding melody to our riffs. So all we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of the... Oh, Toronto, Colorado. Nice. Wow. That is, that's really awesome. Across the pond. Nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some C major Dallas, Texas. Love it. What we're going to do is we're going to add some pentatonic scale, C major pentatonic scale. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to use some C major, just major scale, not major pentatonic scale. We're going to use some C major scale in between some of the chords. Okay, so let's take a look at this example. And at the end of this, Maryland, USA, nice. So a lot of USA, a lot of North America. That's awesome. Now, I forgot what I was going to say. Yes, if you have any questions, I'm going to do a Q&A if there are enough questions at the end. So, yeah, prepare some questions for me. It could be about anything. It doesn't need to be just about this particular video. So if you have any questions, let me know. You can put them in the chat now, and I can answer them after I've covered the topic. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're adding some melody to the chord progression. Okay, this is a very simple step. We're just adding a couple of notes here and there. It doesn't have to be anything special. It just, again, just makes the chord progression and the riff sound a little bit more exciting. My mouth gets really dry when I talk for a long time. I never knew this. All right, so let's take a listen to the riff now with some melody. I completely messed that up. Let's give that another go. Okay. Let me just. Okay. Let's give it another go. That's what you don't see in my usual videos. All the mistakes that I make. I make loads and loads and loads and loads. I'm really not that good at guitar, but I'm teaching on YouTube. Right. Let's give it another go. I messed it up again. Damn it. Okay, let's give it one more go. Okay, I should have practiced this more before. There we go. That's the one. Cool. So, that is step number 4. Really, really simple. Just adding some melody into our chord progression. Step number 5 is to add the little details into our riff, okay? Because we've got the riff now, but we can make it sound a little bit better by doing a few little things, okay? So let's take a look at the tab here. Now, this tab is really, really small. I apologize. I can barely see it. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger, actually, okay? I might have to cover my face or my guitar or something. Excuse me. Where should I put it? I'm going to cover my guitar because you only need to see the tab, really, okay? So there it is, a bit bigger for you. So as you can see, with that first bar, I'm kind of like with my little finger from 5 to 6 on the B string, doing a slide, okay? And then I'm just kind of arpeggiating the chord. Simple as that. Bar 2 remains the same. I'm playing the G13, the 2 notes, and then the 2 diminished 7th chords. Now, what's really interesting is bar 3 and the start of bar 4 here as well, where I am playing the C major 9, but I'm playing a technique called the chord quake, okay? So the chord quake is where we play each note of the C major 7 or C major 9 chord or whatever chord you're playing, one at a time, and we slide down a fret and slide up a fret. And I'm just going to get rid of this for a second. Or I'm going to make it smaller, just so you can see how the technique looks, okay? So I'm playing one note at a time, sliding back and sliding back up again. Then doing the next note in the chord, next note in the chord, and the next note in the chord. And the goal here is to kind of get everything to ring out at the same time. Let me do that again. I can do that better. Something a bit like that. Okay, that's what I did in this riff. And let me make the screen bigger again. And as you can see, that last chord where I play the E7, I'm just sliding up the C major scale before I land on the A minor 9. So let's take a listen to the entire thing. I'm just going to make it smaller again so you can see me play. Forgot how to play it again. Oh my god, all these mistakes. I'm going to have to practice a bit more now that I'm doing live streams. Oh my god, I'm exposing myself here. I'm really exposing myself as an awful, awful, awful guitarist. But I think I'm a good teacher, so that's all that matters. Let's give it another go. There we go. Can add a few more chords in there. Some spicy ones. Hey JD, good to see you here. Maybe we can do another live stream on those weird funky chords. But that is basically it. That is how you create neo soul riffs in 5 steps. David Lovejoy exposed. Yeah. Now we're going to get loads of content creators making videos about me. This guy is not who he says he is. Oh well. Yeah, this has been fun. This has been really fun. Hi JD. Again. So yeah, this has been really fun. If you guys have got any questions, now is the time to ask them. If I don't get any questions, I am going to leave very promptly, okay? But yeah, I'm thinking of making these live streams a regular thing, maybe weekly on Saturday evenings. Let me know if this is a good time for you. If it isn't, let me know what a better time would be for you. Oh my god, this drink makes me really gassy. 7-Up. Ugh. I hope you didn't hear that. Smash the like button. That's right. Listen to Jamsville. Jamsville has not Jamsville, Adam from Jamsville has a great channel. You should check his channel out. Lots of great lessons there. So, what format does your book come in? PDF? Is it downloadable? Music samples? Price? Discount? So, the book comes in a PDF format. It's about 200 pages long, I think. It's very long. It is downloadable, of course. There is MP3 downloads for every single example in the book. There are hundreds of chord progressions in the book. And discounts. Oh. I was thinking about doing a discount for this stream. Not today, but we'll do one soon. Keep an eye out for a discount, and then maybe you can grab your copy then. UK.M, unrelated, but what brand is the guitar? The guitar is a Mayonnaise, and it's called a Cetius, a Mayonnaise Cetius. It's a very metal-oriented guitar, but it actually sounds really nice for neo-soul, I find. They are made in Poland. I believe they're handmade. I got this guitar about 10 years ago, and I've not bought another guitar since. It's just perfect for me, really. I lucked out because I literally bought it without playing it online. I just thought, oh, that looks good, so I'll just buy it. And luckily, I got a good guitar. Oh my God, I've got to make sure I never drink 7-Up again on stream because it makes me really gassy. So yeah, if you guys have got any more questions, let me know. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. What else have you got to do? Comment. Download my book. Give me money. Super chats. Super chats are a thing on YouTube. You can give me money now. Please. Please give me money. I need to eat. I'm a musician, so that means I don't make much money. Okay, I think that's it for today. It's been good fun. It's been half an hour. Wow. I thought it was going to be a lot longer than half an hour, actually. But I managed to wrap things up pretty quickly. And at this point, I am just talking out my arse. So yeah, I've got one more comment. Great job on this live stream. Excellent presentation and graphics. Thank you. I thought I'd put a lot of effort into this one, and I'm going to up the quality more and more for all the future ones. I'm just getting started with this. So yeah. And on that note, I think we'll wrap things up. So yeah, have a good one, guys. And I'll be back hopefully next week for another live stream, probably at the same time. But maybe I'll run a few polls on the community tab just to see what the sort of best time for everyone is. And yeah, I'll see you then. Have a good one, guys. See you later. Bye.